Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today we're going to be doing a what sold video for last week, Monday through Thursday, which is July 13th through the 16th, and things have been moving right along. Lots and lots of sales on my other platforms other than eBay, and so, I'm not going to complain. Yeah, it actually is making me really interested to see how fourth quarter goes with all of these platforms. So I am diligently trying to get as much as I can cross-listed. But just a reminder with Depop, because I got another policy violation today, look at your photos. Don't rely on your keywords, because I keep talking about how they do not want teethers on listings. And I didn't look at one today, and come to find out there was a teether in the photo, and I got an instant policy violation. So pay attention to your photos, not just your titles, and be careful with that one. No, nothing electronic, nothing with batteries, nothing that even plugs into something else that is like Christmas lights, where you plug them into something else and then they work. Nothing that has any kind of electronics. I've been really trying to pay attention. Not even anything that's peripheral, just because I would be so sad to get my Depop account suspended with these accidental things that I keep doing. I'm just not paying attention. Just moving right along, because Nifty makes it so easy to cross list.
What about a CD or DVD?
I know. There's no categories for it, and that should be your first clue.
Q works too. It's kind of like a prompt.
Yeah. If it's not going into a category like DVDs, VHS, anything like that, don't put it over there. Don't try to find something else to put it in. But Whatnot allows it, so just throw it over onto Whatnot. Yeah, just be very careful. And if you're not sure, use AI to ask the question. But yeah, today mine was, I try to always put teether in my listings, and this one I skipped, and I didn't go look at a close-up. So be careful.
They're analyzing the photos, not just the keywords. But we got to talk about Poshmark. There's a Poshmark update. Big one. We'll talk about that here in a bit.
Yes. I love it when a platform listens to its sellers and changes their mind. Y'all, this is ×2 because I forgot to show you guys the pictures. I just went on talking the whole time. First thing that sold on Depop were these Disney plush villains. I had Ursula and Cruella de Vil plush. They sold for $10.50. These were from a box lot of Bean plush that I picked up at a yard sale. I paid $20 for 28 of them, and I've already sold the first set. Disney Alien plush. This is from the Remix series, meaning it's Toy Story, Incredibles combined, sold for $7. Never heard of this, but it's called the Tiny Headed Kingdom Fox plush, sold for $9. SpongeBob SquarePants Pillow Pets Pee-wee plush, sold for $11. And this Panda Bear plush backpack 20-inch plush, sold for $23. On Poshmark, Build-A-Bear Paw Patrol Tracker Backpack, sold for $9. Hasbro Sesame Street Elmo plush from 2012, sold for $9. Wii Zumba Fitness belt. This has been listed forever with fitness twice. Never did catch it in all of my end and sell similars. Nevertheless, sold for $10. This is real life, y'all. These are mistakes. All right, next is Beverly Hills Teddy Bear Company Yellow Duck Puppet, sold for $10. Fisher Price Click and Clatter car with 2 little jumbo figures, sold for $11. Baby Essentials Red Tractor Lovey, sold for $8. Nurture Elephant Crib Musical Plush, sold for $15. Princess Soft Toys, I think I just listed this, sold for $25. And my Jammy Pie not sure if you guys can see her, but I've got the purple one that I found at the bins in the last couple of months. I'm doing a little project on her right now to see if I can get the stains off her face. That's going to be in an upcoming video. But I sold the other one that I had. This was the yellow one with the pajamas, and she sold on Poshmark for $42. And then Mercari. 2 sales, Blue's Clues, blue and magenta puppy dog plush sold for $10. The new stuff just doesn't do as well as the older vintage ones from when Steve was there. And then Pyrex teal, blue, and gold striped salad plates sold finally. Never again. $19.96 on Mercari. And I had 2 sales also on Etsy. First were these Fisher-Price dollhouse puppies. One is a spaniel, one was a poodle. They sold for $12.95. And then the Fisher-Price Fun with Food tea kettle sold for $15. That was one that I just found not too long ago at the bins. I've still got mine back here on the wall.
So let's talk Poshmark.
Yes.
They did a reversal, about face.
About face, yes.
We messed up.
We listened to our sellers. Hint, hint, eBay. Promotions, returns, cancellations, floating offers. Can you tell I'm irked? But yes, they're no longer going to be doing the excessive delisting policy that they've been doing where, you know, we were being punished basically for taking our listings down when they sold on another platform. I didn't have any issues, but dang, I saw a lot of Facebook posts about it. To the point where a lot of people were just marking their things that sold elsewhere as like not available or something because they were afraid that they were going to get suspended.
I heard that people were getting suspended for doing that also.
But they have stopped that. And
they announced it on I guess they do like a quarterly Zoom call, and they announced it during that Zoom call that they were no longer going to be doing it because it was their reasoning was something like it did not allow sellers to properly manage inventory.
And it didn't. People were going around. You know, I was limiting my end and sell similars through Nifty that they have set up for us because I was afraid, even though I have like 7,000 listings over there, you know, I was afraid even doing, 10 or 20 a day, which technically Nifty says I can do up to 100 a day at this level. I was like, no way. No way. But now I'm still not doing that. I think I bumped mine up to 50 a day. And that's after 60 days. I'm waiting the 60 days before I start doing that.
They also announced that they're going to come out with some sort of super seller program. I didn't see a name for it in the article I read. But if you meet certain metrics, you're going to get boosted in the algorithm. And later this year, buyers are going to be able to check a filter that says, I only want to see sellers that are in this program. And it's not a complicated, it's not like a high hurdle that you got to jump over to get into this program. To qualify for the program, you have to have at least 20 lifetime shipped sales and maintain some standards over a 90-day period. At least 5 orders or $500 in sales. So you're looking at like 2 orders a month to qualify. An average shipping time of 2 days or less, and do not cancel more than 2% of your orders, and don't have an approved return case rate of more than 2%.
Be accurate with your descriptions, and that shouldn't be an issue. I think in all of my time on Poshmark, I've only had 1 return.
Because mostly Poshmark expects when a buyer gets it, and if it matches the description, but it doesn't fit, the colors, not exactly what they were hoping for because of monitors and such, that the buyer is expected to either keep it or reposh it. So it's not like eBay where you get returns because the buyer changed their mind. Yeah, that one changed mind. You keep it, you deal with it. So that one shouldn't be too difficult, as Rebel said, if you're making good descriptions.
And then eBay. I think this is pronounced, I looked it up at some point, Barusa. Newborn baby doll, girl, sold for $42. Aurora Slumpy plush horse from 2025 sold for $17.95. It was just a very unique style plush. This is one of those items that I would not list on Depop, although it could be on Depop, because all it is a pretend play hairdryer, but the words are going to automatically get you a flag, I would think, because I had like pretend records that went to a pretend record player, and they got taken down. I won the appeal, but it's just something I'm starting to think more and more about. You know, no peripherals that could be somehow related to an electronic thing. It's not worth it. I would be very sad if I lost my Depop account, especially when it's just been going strong for me. So this is just an example of things not to put on Depop. But it was just a pretend hairdryer, sold for $12.11. Scentsy Buddy Daisy Duck plush with the scent pack sold for $17.50. Walmart Christmas dog plush sold on eBay for $11.66. Again, been listed for over 2 years. And then this was Kohl's Cares If You Give a Cat a Cupcake. I took a drastic reduction in price in an offer for this, because when I went back and looked, something in there, either it wasn't selling for all of the ones that were getting listed, or somebody had started bumping the price down. So $25 for a Kohl's Cares plush is still great. So I went ahead and accepted the offer. Walt Disney Twin Books lot sold for $13.45. And last but not least, a viewer sale. So thank you so much, Teresa. Teresa picked this Disney Toy Story Lotso Huggin' Bear plush for her granddaughter for $17.95. So thank you very much, Teresa. And then to Robert. First thing that sold on Poshmark were these Levi's 511 men's cutoff jean shorts. Yep, pretty sure they were pants that got cut down to shorts. This buyer was still fine with that. I put that in our comment, our description, because when I looked at the pants, it said something like 34 by 36. So you know they're cut off. Sold for $17. Also, another pair of the equestrian breeches. This one was by RJ Classics. These sold on Poshmark for $27. And a Peanuts Snoopy yellow baseball curtain panel sold for $15. Then he had 2 sales on Depop. First was this Altered State women's tunic cover-up, sold for $8. And these Can women's denim shorts sold for $15. And then eBay. First are these Nike women's sneakers. I ain't saying the rest. Sneakers sold for $12.31.
I'm going to go with Huarache.
Huarache. And then these Thorogood safety toe shoes sold for $35. They had been listed since probably 2023. So we went ahead and accepted this 50% off offer, but just to make them gone at this point, $35. BKE women's Billie jeans. These were a very, very quick sale. Sold for $20. Y'all, these are little. The waists are like 12 inches
Flat.
Crazy small. Still sold. Day Trip women's jeans. They're boot cut. Sold for $20. Levi Strauss signature women's jeans. They were 14 short. Sold for $12.31.
We generally don't buy the signature series. They don't sell very well for us. So when we have something like this, it's probably because it was fill a bag and we just threw them in there because they were essentially going to be free at that point. But for some of this stuff, I'm reconsidering whether throwing the item in the bag is even worth putting a free item in the bag.
Exactly, because it took a year to sell, right? Like 11 months. LOGG, I can't remember what that stands for.
Label of graded goods.
Is that what it is?
Pretty sure.
Women's denim jeans with the lace-up ankles sold $10.83. Old Navy women's McKinsey high-rise wide leg jeans sold for $15.58. Again, this was less than a month to sell. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Me and the technical difficulties has made this 20-minute video into 36 minutes and 55 seconds. Yeah, if it can go wrong, Rebel will do it wrong.
But it'll be all right.
It'll be all right. All right, y'all. It's time to get to work. Actually, I'm going to get ready to do a haul video, which is going to be my favorite thing to do. So get to work. Bye.